FPS game devs are artificially inflating the skill gap between players. Considering how controversial skill-based matchmaking or SBMM is, wouldn't it be better to have a higher average skill level? So, what's their reason for doing it? Being able to hold your own is crucial to enjoying shooters long term. Not everyone needs to be a sweat lord, but if you're getting completely destroyed every game, you're probably not having a great time. The problem lies in the default settings they've chosen. There are a huge number of more casual oriented players that play on default who are being set up to fail with settings that give them basically 0% chance of ever being good. While I don't think devs are doing this maliciously, their ignorance of viable or more competitive settings has created this divide between those in the know and those who aren't. Let me show you an example. In Overwatch 2, the average competitive mouse sensitivity is 33.6 centimeters per 360, and this is the amount of real-life movement it takes to rotate in-game. Putting up some standard DPI settings of 800, 1600, and 3200, this is what in-game sensitivity you'd need to equal that average. We have 5.1, 2.6, and 1.3. But guess what? The default sensitivity is a massive 15. Just look at how fast these mouse sensitivities are. 11.5, 5.8, and 2.9 centimeters. Outside of a few outliers, if someone is playing on anything under around 20 centimeters, they're pretty much guaranteed to never have good aim. And Overwatch isn't just some extreme example either. Almost every FPS game I've ever played has had this same problem. Apex Legends Pro average sense is 37.7 centimeters, but the default of 5 puts you at 10.4, 5.2, and 2.6. Valorant Pro average sense is 53.2, but the default of 1 puts you at 16.3, 8.2, and 4 centimeters. Average competitive sensitivity exists for a reason. The most amount of people play the best somewhere around those settings. Anyone on default sense is playing at a severe disadvantage. And mouse sensitivity is only the beginning. On default graphics settings in Overwatch 2, it has set my refresh rate to 60, even though I have a 144Hz monitor. My frame rate is capped to 60 when I'm capable of having a frame rate of about 400, and my graphics are all cranked to max, which puts a huge dent in your potential frame rate. Fortunately, VSync is off, but in a game like Battlefield 2042, VSync is on by default. And all of the settings I just covered significantly increase your input lag and reduce the smoothness and responsiveness of your gameplay. This makes aiming and simply being able to follow along with what's happening on screen much more difficult. Some games like Battlefield 2042 will also have you playing on a very low field of view unless you change it. 55 here is equivalent to 86 horizontal field of view, which is very claustrophobic. For reference, Overwatch, which is considered to have a fairly low field of view, is on 103 horizontal. And most pro Apex players play on something between 115 and 123. I believe the FPS genre as a whole would benefit greatly from having more sensible default settings. With a few simple changes like placing the default sensitivity closer to the competitive average on the most common mouse DPI of 800, or even prompting the user to enter their DPI and adjusting the default accordingly. Sure, some players won't have the mousepad space or patience to try lower settings, and they may feel compelled to increase their sense, but it's better for a few to be inconvenienced than for the majority to be set up to fail. For PvP shooters, graphic defaults should be more optimized towards performance. I understand why they want to crank everything to ultra to show off their game, but in reality, there needs to be a better compromise between visuals and frame rate. Additionally, these games should always be set to exclusive full screen with VSync off by default. With a few simple setting changes, devs could passively increase the ability of a huge portion of their player base, giving everyone more balanced games and keeping more players in the FPS genre. If you or someone you know is new to FPS games, using viable settings is a great place to start. And if you're looking to skill up quickly, I highly recommend checking out my ARM aiming guide here to quickly learn the most effective aiming foundation. Be sure to subscribe for more content like this, and I'll catch you in the next one.